All right, boys and girls. So we've been talking about rainforests and food chains, and we read The Great K-Pop Tree. So we're going to go over some vocabulary now. Some of these terms you've heard before, and some are new. So a rainforest is an area of tall, mostly evergreen trees and a high amount of rainfall. A food chain is a series of animals or organisms, each dependent on the next as a source of food. And we went over this little example that I have. So the butterfly sucks the nectar from the plant, the bird eats the butterfly, and the bobcat eats the birdie. Okay, and so the third vocabulary word is, Andrew, can you read it?
Organism.
And what does that mean? Do you remember?
A living thing.
A living thing, very good. And what about this word here?
Producer.
Producer. Can you read the definition?
Organisms that produce their own food.
Organisms that produce their own food.
Like plants.
Like plants, very good. And so the next vocabulary term is consumer, and that's a living creatures that eat organisms. And so a consumer can be a primary consumer or a secondary consumer. A primary consumer is organisms that feed on producers. So like a grasshopper, right? Very good. A secondary consumer is the organisms that eat primary consumers, like this jaguar here. And they can actually be meat eaters and plant eaters. All right, and then the last vocabulary word, can you see it in the corner here?
Yes.
What does it say?
Scavenger.
Scavenger. So, can you read the definition?
Animal that feeds on dead organisms.
Like a
Vulture.
Like a vulture. Very good. So yesterday we colored all these beautiful pictures of our organisms, right? That was fun. Y'all did a really good job on that. And then we even made our beautiful chart here. And so the chart here has a producer column, a primary consumer column, a secondary consumer column, and a scavenger column. So what we're going to do today is we are going to take our different organisms and we are going to try to place them under the correct column on our chart. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. And let me get some tape because we might need more tape. Andrew, do you want to grab an organism? Well, I get the tape.
I'll take the king vulture.
The king vulture. All right. What do you think the king vulture is?
Vultures are actually scavengers. I would think it's
They are. See if that'll stick up there. The king vulture is a scavenger. I bet you've seen a vulture going down the road to grandma's house, huh?
Yeah.
That's right. All
Then
right.
next we have this little grass.
Shrub. Yeah, it's a shrub. And all of these organisms, they are found in the rainforest. So what is the grass?
It's producer because it's plant.
Right. Very good. So put it in the producer. I'm going to get this frog. So this frog, remember we were researching it the other day? It actually eats other small frogs. So that's going to be what?
A secondary.
Very good.
This jaguar is also a secondary.
Yeah, the jaguars eat small animals. Very good.
Let's see.
Do you remember what the lemur?
Lemur? The lemur
Eats.
is a primary
Yeah,
consumer.
because the lemur eats fruit. Very good. Remember we were researching about the lemurs?
Yeah.
And showing them eating the little fruit? Ooh, what about this?
The giant millipede.
Giant millipede. What do you think that is?
Is a scavenger.
Very good. And I remember Isabella colored this pretty quetzal, and it is actually a secondary consumer. It eats worms and plants. And bugs. That's right.
This
What? The hummingbird.
is a primary.
Primary. Very good.
It eats the plants.
It eats.
Nectar from
Very good. Okay. What about this?
Yeah,
The ant.
That ant is a scavenger.
Mhm.
Of food.
Because the
They
ant,
eat bugs,
certain types of ants eat dead
worms,
organisms.
cockroaches.
Worms and cockroaches. Wow, you're really good. Okay, so we have a tapir, a monkey, and a toucan. What do you think those are?
The toucan, I think, is going to be a secondary.
Very
consumer.
good. All of these, in fact, are secondary consumers.
Yes.
And then I'll let you get those last three.
Okay.
Very good. Very good.
This is a primary consumer.
Primary consumer, the grasshopper.
It eats plants.
And then we have an orchid.
Okay.
What do you think the orchid is?
It's a producer.
Producer. Very good. And we are going to say this is the great kapok tree. Right? And what is the great kapok tree?
It's a producer.
Very good.
Like the orchid.
Very good. Wow. I think this chart is so beautiful with all those pictures of the organisms that y'all colored. So nice. I think we're going to keep this vocabulary word wall up and this chart up for a good while. I love the chart that y'all created. Good job.